Hi everyone, thank you for joining me here at the Dahlia Society. My name's Kristen and I'm here to share with you a few plans that I have ready to go for the hopefully rest of summer. We've had a bit of a standstill here in Melbourne. We've had a lovely coolish week, very low 20s, but even high teens, which is kind of unheard of for February. It's really, really weird the way the seasons are. So I'm thinking we're either going to have a really late summer or maybe summer might have overtaken us already, but I highly doubt that. I think the whole season things are like in reverse at the moment. It's really weird, but it's given me a bit of time to have a bit of a think about what I need in the wardrobe and just to reassess things that I wear lots and things that I enjoy wearing for my lifestyle. So I've come up with a few suggestions here, pattern and fabrics, and I also want to share with you a fantastic new make that I've made here that I'm just loving at the moment. Before we get started on this, I need to remind you all that anyone who is interested in the Bespoke box for February, of course the L'Amour box, which is all about the month of love, kind of Valentine's theme box, is released Sunday night here, 7 p.m. Australian Eastern Daylight Savings Time. So mark that on your calendar and make sure you set your alarms for that, because I know a lot of people are really keen on this box because maybe it conjures up things that you like to see, images that come to mind. And I'll actually put in the newsletter a couple of images that give you a bit of a kind of a look behind the theme I'm going for. So yes, limited numbers as always for that as well. So make sure you, mark that on your calendar. So let's get started on today's sewing and plans. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, it's a great time to do that. Of course, you'll never miss out an episode that way. And also a like would be appreciated. So what I've got on today, a brand new make. Actually managed to grab a piece of this fabric. This Miss Moresby cotton linen that I advertised last week on the channel, I had the newsletter, it flew out the door, and I mean flew. Basically, we had sold out of all three of a particular design in the day, and at the moment, we're not able to get any more the foreseeable future. I think Nerida Hanson's having a few issues with suppliers and stock, that kind of thing, and she is actually doing print on demand in the USA now. I'm not sure what's happening here with the Australian side of things, but she has let me know that she's had quite a few supplier issues, so I can't get any more of that at the moment, but particularly the Secret Sea Garden one just flew. The only one I do have left is this beautiful rooftop garden print, and I've got it on with a ready-made top, just a singlet top, because I just haven't got time to make a lot of these basic things at the moment. I really need to invest some time to get some good quality cotton jerseys in the store, but I love this style. This is just a ready-to-wear one. I think it was from Suzanne, and I don't really buy much ready to wear anymore, but occasionally I'll buy like a t-shirt or a tank top because they're just nice basics that they're good quality, they fit me well, and I like to put them back with something that I've made. So I'm going to show you what I've made. The skirt I've got on, I'll put some pics up so you can see, is a brilliant little pattern. It is a winner. I actually was looking for something to show off the design of this beautiful cotton linen. It hasn't got a lot of drape because it's got that kind of little bit of a structured element, but it's quite a soft cotton linen, so you can get away with things with a tiny bit of drape. But the thing I wanted to use it for was a statementy kind of skirt to wear with things like this singlet top. And I've gone for the Style Arc Genoa Boas cut skirt. It is brilliant. I had this made up literally in probably 3/4 of an hour. Maybe add on a bit more time to cut your fabric up. So probably you get it all done in an hour and a half tops. That's for hemming and everything. I only use 2 meters of fabric. So the good thing about this is it doesn't use a lot of fabric. There's not a lot of bulk. It sits beautifully because it's cut on the bias. So if you haven't actually ever cut anything on the bias before, you'll note that with pattern instructions, you do have to place the pattern pieces on an angle. Now that can be problematic if you're having things with directional print, so be careful of that. This one does have a non-directional print, so always go for non-directional just to make your life a bit easier, or a solid color. And it shows you how to place the fabric on the pattern piece on the fabric, and that you flip it over. But see what I mean about having it on the angle, so you have it on the bias. So what that does, cutting things on the bias, gives you movement and a kind of a weird sculpting effect that when you put the skirt on, it fits to the contours of your body. It's amazing. It's got a lovely kind of slimming effect, if you know what I mean. I shouldn't say slimming because people will say don't use the word flattering and slimming. I don't know how to describe it. It really kind of forms to your body and gives it a beautiful silhouette. And it just seems to just hug the shape. Yes, Meg. And I love the fact that there is no gathering, and basically you're using an elastic that you're just stitching on. So it's just 2 pieces of fabric put together, and you're sewing the side seams up, you're sewing the elastic around the top, you're flipping it under, and it's done. So you just need to hem it, and it is so simple. So there isn't a lot of gathering around the waist, so you've got to make sure you go for the right size, because you don't want it so tight that it can't be pulled up. So I've gone for the 16. Love the way it fits my body. I'm normally a 14 in their dresses, but the 16 I thought I'd be safe with this skirt because the fabric is quite structured, but when you have it on, it has a fluid look to it. It's really hard to describe. So if you haven't tried anything on the bias, I would definitely say this could be a first one for you to make, just to have a bit of practice. But now that I've made one, I am absolutely obsessed with this, and I want to make about 2 or 3 and maybe even a couple of solid patterns. I just love the way it fits the body, and I love the way that there's no gathering around the middle. I really like the way they've started with that cute little tie-up t-shirt as well, but I'm going to be wearing mine with tanks and maybe a couple of cropped style tops. The other fabrics that I have here I want to make another one out of would be the Fabric Godmother Richmond print, which is just a beautiful cotton lawn. I've been waiting for the right pattern for this for so long, and I looked at some shirt dresses and thought, I've got a lot of dresses in the wardrobe and I need some more separates. And I know at the moment, like, separate co-ords are really, really big. If you go into the shops, you'll see everything's co-ord sets. And one of my daughters was going to a wedding with her partner, I think, in a couple of weeks' time, and we went out shopping, and she found herself a beautiful little co-ord set. And I just said, wow, it's amazing because you can wear that skirt with a plain top, and you can mix the top with a pair of black pants for work. So it really does increase or extend the wearability out of things for the wardrobe when you have separates. But you also get that look of an ensemble, like a dress, as well. So I think that the Genoa bias cut skirt would be beautiful with a little crop style top. But that one I'll be wearing with a t-shirt. But love that. It's really, really soft. It's got a beautiful pink blossom hue in there as well. So I think cotton lawn would be perfect. You can really use anything. You can use viscose, you can use rayon, you can use silk satins, linens. It depends on the fluidity and the look you want to give the skirt. But for a nice casual skirt, cotton or a cotton linen is perfect, or even a linen viscose. And while we're on the subject of crop style tops, and I don't mean cropped as in like belly button showing, I mean cropped that it sits nicely on the waistline. You know, that sweet spot that you get with a nice sort of boxy style top that you can wear with a high-waisted pair of pants or skirt. That's what I love. They are so practical for the wardrobe. I do love long line tunic and floaty shirts, but I also really need a few more of these crop style tops. And I'm thinking the Cello by Closet Call would be the way to go. That I have a piece of the Marnie Stewart cotton linen print. There is no more of that left. Of course, last October, I think I had this in, and it walked out the door, and I stole a little piece for myself because I knew I'd be wanting to make something out of that print. Really like that, and I think it would be perfect for a pair of pants. Now, the other thing I haven't brought out to show you, I've just remembered now, is some linen viscose that I do have in the store, the navy gin colour. I have the Barry pants pattern. I'll pop a pic up here so you can see, and an A0 pattern ready to be made up, and that's the next pair of pants I want to try. I've heard good things about that pattern. I do love my Sew House 7 free range slacks, and I'm just contemplating whether to go with being safe and making that pair up again, or doing the Barry pants. But I also really love the Pietra pants from Closet Call Patterns, and I've made a pair of those about 2 years ago now in a green linen. But the green linen I used was very structured and heavy, and they look beautiful, but they're just a bit too structured for my liking. I like a little bit more swing. I think next time I'll make those Pietras with the narrower cut leg and maybe in the navy. So I've got 3 choices for that navy linen viscose. So we've got the Pietra pants, the free range slack, and the Barry Style Arc. And they'd all look beautiful with a cello top, I think. So that's my choice, and it's hard because, you know, if you like the fit of something that you've made before, it's quite easy to stick to that. But also it limits you when you want to try something new and different, that you could find an equally just as impressive pattern trying something new. So, yeah, it's hard. It really is. So we'll have to have a think about that one. So definitely the Style Arc Genoa skirt is fantastic. Look at your finish measurements. That's one thing I did to look at the fit, the finished fit, because that will be the guide for you to choose what size, because there's not a lot of ease in the skirt, but the way that the bias cut, the fabric is cut in the bias gives you that movement and that comfortability of wearing the skirt. Comfortability, is that a word? Not sure, but I reckon that's the good way to describe it. What else do I have to show you here? Okay, the next thing I want to look at is duster style jackets, like floaty light jackets to throw on over something like a tank top. Because we have those kind of coolish days, sometimes I like to wear a pair of, you know, crop jeans, singlet top, and throw on like a kind of duster kimono style jacket. I really love this Beyond the Sunset, which is the Lady McElroy, and I've cut a piece of this off because I really can see this. I've got this brown singlet top, I've got a green one as well, and I think it's just really nice colours for me. It's kind of the warm, maybe more autumnal, but it gives that kind of vintage 70s vibe. I love that. So that is the fabric I want to use. The pattern choices I've got. Firstly, I like the look of the Helen's Closet moss jacket. I like that because it's got two different styles. You've got the long line without the fold over front, and then you've got the cropped with the fold over front, and you know, can do different length sleeves. That one looks great in either a summer weight or winter weight fabric, and I've seen many people make that, and it looks stunning on. The next thing I'm thinking about making, the other choice would be the swing jacket by So Different Patterns, and I am restocking a lot of my So Different Patterns. I've got a delivery due any day now to restock that. The swing jacket will be in that, as well as many other new fabrics or patterns. So if you haven't checked out my So Different Patterns, head to the store and see all the new ones I've got in. I really like the look of that swing jacket. Of course, again, the length of it, I really like that kind of A-line effect to it. So yeah, that one looks really, really nice. The other choices I have picked out here, because I don't want it to be a really big sleeve. I want it to be a little bit more refined looking, not as kind of bulky around the arms. So I'm thinking of doing a shorter sleeve one. The other one I'm looking at here is one I've had printed out for eons. I haven't made it yet. And it's the LB Textiles Summerfield coat. That one has a couple of different looks. You've got the long line look with the tie, both have tie at the front, and then you've got the shorter length one. They've both got different sleeves, of course, your longer sleeve or that kind of angular style sleeve. I really like the look of that. I'll put some pics up to remind you of that pattern. But that would be really, really practical, I think, to have, you know, for popping on over jeans. I had a lot of big four patterns that I made in the past in this kimono kind of style, but whenever I've made them, they've ended up huge and I can never quite get the fit right around the shoulders. So I'm sort of steering away from a lot of the big four ones just purely due to size issues. I can never, ever pick a size with them. I always have issues. Yeah, so I love an indie pattern for that reason, that always seem to fit straight out of the pack, and something like that would look beautiful on. The other one, of course, is a favourite pattern of mine. It's the Pattern Emporium Songbird. You make that in a lot of different styles as well. You've got the different lengths. It's got the kind of high-low bit at the front there where the facing is, but you can do it in, you know, short, long. You can shorten the sleeves. It's a great practical pattern. So undecided as to which one to go for, but it will definitely be a duster style kimono kind of jacket. So that is the next thing I want to make. The next thing I want to make is a bold, plain, bright kind of shirt dress or maybe a button-through dress, because I do love having a solid colour. And, of course, that dress I made for Tammy handmade that offered everyone the discount, that red Merlot colour, got a lot of love for that solid colour, and it made me realise that they are really practical to have in the wardrobe. A solid colour dress, you can never really have enough of them because you can mix and match them back through with other things. So I've got this beautiful cosmopolitan pink linen that I've just restocked in the store, and I did sell out of that back a few months back, and I had quite a few requests to get it back in again. The pale pink, I think there's only a tiny bit left, which is more of a strawberry pink. This is a really beautiful hot pink, and I know it's very big in stores at the moment. I've seen it everywhere, and yeah, hot pink is the in thing at the moment, bright kind of things for summer. But I also really love it with things like the emerald green and the navy, but even with the brown. And I was talking to a lady in a store, and we we're just talking about how the brown is everywhere. She said, yes, it's the coming in colour for autumn winter is going to be chocolate deep rich brown with things like your emerald, burnt orange, and even like a peachy kind of corally colour looks beautiful with brown as well. So I'm happy with that because I'm a really big fan of brown, and I know I wore a heap of it in the 90s. I had the brown lipstick, I had brown everything. We used to wear that matte coloured brown lipstick that was really in at the time. I don't know if you guys remember that Poppy King lipstick that everyone had, and I loved my deep chocolate matte brown. And now looking back, it would have been terribly dry to wear on the lips all day, but I really loved it because it sort of suited my colouring. I had more of a red colour hair back then, but yeah, really love the colours the way they're heading for autumn winter. So I want to make something a bit more summery, a nice bright vibrant dress, and I've thought about maybe making a puff sleeve. I'm not sure. I don't want a big puff sleeve. I find I feel a bit too much like a cloud in it. I do like a bit of puff, but not too much of a puff, if you know what I mean. And I really love the named clothing Rita shirt dress. It's a fantastic pattern. I probably would make it without the pockets. I love the look of the dress and the drawstring waist, how it pulls you in, gives you a nice effect, and it has a beautiful swingy A-line skirt. I don't know whether I would change the sleeve, maybe make the sleeve kind of a puff sleeve could be an option, or which way to go with that. But really love that. That is one of the options I have. The other one is the Eva Dress by Tessuti Patterns. I love the lines in that dress. I've made one before and absolutely love it. And I'm also going to be a stockist for Tessuti Patterns, so I've got a lot of them on their way. So stay tuned for that because I'll be showing you guys all the new ones that I'm getting in. So I'm going to have a lot of their patterns, and I know a lot of people love the fact that you can get a paper pattern. You can purchase it with your fabric. But the thing I love about that is that a lot of the Tessuti patterns, they've increased the size range on them, which is fantastic. I love the Lois dress. I think that would look stunning in that beautiful Lois dress. It's kind of like a beautiful sculpted bias cut fit dress as well. Really, really pretty. I also love the look of the Megan Nielsen Darling Ranges dress, but not with the gathered skirt, the more of a sort of long line shirt style dress. I think that would work really well for that. So I give myself so many options that I end up confusing myself way too much, and then I'll just sort of dwell over what to make. So that's the only problem when I give myself all these options. There's also the Lias dress from Tessuti Patterns. I've heard that's a fantastic pattern. It's got more of the shaped kind of gathered waistline and the it's more of a cut-off sleeve with the button front. That could work really well with the pink. There's also the Michelle So's Effie shirt dress. That is more of a kind of structured straight line shirt dress as well. So they're the ones that I have kind of on the tentative making list with the pink. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Let me know in the comments what you think I should make with this beautiful pink East Coast Cosmopolitan colour linen. It's really, really pretty. Now, I'm still getting a lot of love on the swimsuit episode. I think a lot of you have been inspired to go off and maybe sew your own swimsuits. And, of course, because it's cooled down a bit here, I haven't made any more swimsuits. I haven't had the need to because I haven't been in the pool for about 10 days, maybe more now. So that's a bit disappointing because I really wanted to make another pair of bathers. So I think next year I'm going to definitely get organised early on and try and have my swimsuits made up by November. Gives me a bit more time. But who knows whether we're going to get a bit of a later summer or not. I want to say a huge thank you to a wonderful viewer called Belinda Ezzy, and she is such a beautiful person. She has donated to my coffee account multiple times, as to so many of you. I must say a huge thank you. I really do appreciate that. It makes, it really does mean the world to me. I really appreciate everything everyone puts in there because it shows to me that you're really loving the content. So thanks for that. The beautiful Belinda has actually sent me some beautiful swimwear fabric. She actually bought herself some and she said she had way too much. She didn't need to use it all. And so, yeah, she sent me this wonderful two prints that just look so beautiful together. First we've got the spotty swim lycra, and then we have this beautiful pink and black floral. But isn't that gorgeous together? So I think that would even make a gorgeous cashmere at Ipswich swimsuit. But there's quite a bit there. So I'm thinking even a rashie might be really nice, or a couple of rashies, or maybe some boy leg shorts. There could be a few options there. So thank you so much, Belinda. I really, didn't expect all that. When I saw how much fabric was there, I was like, wow, that is enough to do a couple of swimsuits. So that's very generous of you. So she asked me for my PO box address so she could send it to me, and I was really, really surprised at that. So thank you so much for being so thoughtful. And I also have purchased myself some bra cup inserts to put in that you need to sew in, and I did mention that in that episode with the swimwear that you need to zigzag those in the lining. So they're fairly readily easy to find in any good sewing store, and yeah, you can put them in sort of position where you want to wear them and zigzag them in, and they'll just give you a bit more support, a bit more lift. So that is another option for some new swimwear. So that's the thing, it's just finding a bit more warm weather. Hopefully we'll get it soon. And there are so many great suggestions on those swimwear pattern episode that you guys all made. So there are way too many for me to get through. But the one I'm looking at, I love the look of the senior swimsuit. And there's a couple of Ali and Mac bundle patterns that look great as well. So I do love my Cottesloe ones. I've worn them quite a few times already, and they're still held up nicely. But yeah, just need to look at some more, getting some more warmer weather to get the wear out of these things. So I hope I've given you a bit of inspiration to get some sewing done there. And of course, I've got plenty to do, plenty to sew. I'm actually in the middle of sewing up the pattern that will be in the Bespoke box for Feb, the secret QR code you'll get. If you purchase a box, you'll get that secret QR code, which leads you to a top secret video that shows you what I've made with the fabric. So you guys will get to see that next month when I do all my reveal and unboxing. So that's what's on the cards at the moment. It's a pattern that I've made before and I absolutely love. I think it really suits the fabric. So next on the cards for me is another one of those Genoa Boas cut skirts. I've also got the cello pattern ready to go, ready to cut that top up, because it's a fantastic easy make as well. So it's just the decisions on the duster and the pink dress. I've got lots of thinking to do there. So I hope you're all really well. There's one thing I needed to show you guys. I had a new addition to the family. I'll go and get him. Say hi to Ziggy, everyone. He's our new rescue tabby cat. He's about 13 weeks now, and we absolutely love him. We actually adopted him from a wonderful organisation called One at a Time Pet Rescue, which they live just up the road from us. A lady that runs it has just a menagerie of animals everywhere. She does a wonderful job. And I saw him, she popped him on her Facebook site when the kittens go up for adoption. She put his little photo up, and I just couldn't resist, because of course we're still grieving over the loss of our beautiful Mabel and Juju that we lost last year. And we just thought a new little addition to the family would be wonderful. And he's just so clever. He's so beautiful. He even fetches things, which is very clever. But we just thought he's a little Ziggy Stardust after David Bowie, of course. We think it fitted really well. So absolutely gorgeous. I'll show you up close. He's an absolute delight. We're all in love with him. So yes, that's keeping us all very busy at the moment. So have a wonderful sewing week, everyone. I'll go and take him back inside for lunch. It's like having a baby again, all these meals a day these babies have to keep them growing. But yeah, he's beautiful. Take care. See you all soon. Bye for now.